by saying that they raped me when they didn't, and that was wrong. And I betrayed the trust of a lot of other people who believed in me, um, and made up a story that wasn't true because I wanted validation from people and not from God. I testified falsely against them by saying that they raped me when they didn't, and that was wrong. And I betrayed the trust of a lot of other people who believed in me, um, and made up a story that wasn't true because I wanted validation from people and not from God. I testified falsely. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to my channel called Take Heed to the Message with Abang Anwa. So, the title of this foolery this morning is Duke Lacrosse players are finally free in the court of public opinion. Crystal Magna, I know I'm saying her name wrong, the last name. Crystal Magna lied, okay? Forgive me for not saying her name correctly. Let's get in on the foolery. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Stephen. Good morning, A-Team. Good morning, Naomi. How are you? It's good to see y'all. So, listen to me. When these three players were accused, right? Okay, it made headlines. It was crazy. It was wild back in the day. And so 2000 and what was this, 2006? Am I saying that right? Hold on. Let me check something. No, I'm right. I'm right. 2006 that this happened. 2006 that this happened. Okay. So this is, you know what's so sad is that after 18 years, you know, someone can come out. Now, listen, the courts freed these three gentlemen and they were able to sue the school. But in the court of public opinion, right, these people were never freed in the court of public opinion. Even though the justice system didn't have enough to stand on and the case had to be dropped. But in the court of public opinion, they roasted these gentlemen. They roasted these gentlemen. Can you imagine going into a job that you have a stigma like just flying over your head, that someone believes that you are, you know, you are the R word, you know, you are that evil. You know what I'm saying? That yeah, you did the R word to an innocent black woman. Because that's how they portrayed this lady. That's how they portrayed Crystal, as this beautiful, innocent black woman. And y'all know Crystal was beautiful. Okay? She was very beautiful. So they got in there and was like, this is a young black woman, okay? And maybe she's doing the dancing because she needs the money and stuff like that. You know, maybe she's doing it because she needs to go to school. So they like portrayed it as, you know, this innocent young black woman. And she, you know, these three monsters, okay, these young Caucasian men, you know, R-word her. Even the district attorney was on fire. Okay, he was on fire. He didn't have any evidence about these three players. Okay, he didn't have any evidence about these three players. Okay, but oh, thank you, A-Team. I appreciate you, honey. But he continued on because it was time for his reelection. This is another term to come up. This is what they said. This is what the news said. Okay? This is what the news said. Hey, Rennie, how are you? I always say Renee. You know I mess up your name too, baby. Um, so this is the uncomfortable truth. After 18 years, now you come to social media and you say that these gentlemen didn't do anything to you. And this is the thing that irks me so bad is that a woman can go and destroy somebody's life. She can go and destroy somebody's life. And at the end of the day, when the guilt has ate her up so bad and she has found Christ. Oh, thank you, baby. So at the end of the day, she had turned around and she had found Christ. Okay? So now she gets up here and says, I'm sorry. You know, please forgive me. Okay? Now, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't have enough common sense then to know that this was wrong. You know? Like, you didn't have enough common sense to know back in the day that this was wrong, what you was doing. But now, after 18 years, because you know they're gonna do, it's gonna be a whole thing about this thing. This is one interview, so this gonna be a whole thing about this thing. Okay, this about to be a whole movie, lifetime, everything. Okay, if it's not already. But you have destroyed three of these men in the court of public opinion. Okay, the court of public opinion means so much. It means so much. The court of public opinion is so heavy, right? When it comes to prosecuting somebody, is that they don't even weigh out the case in court first. They weigh it out in the public. Like all this stuff you see with Diddy, all this stuff that you see with Jay-Z. Okay? Anytime they want to do something, it will be weighed out. It's going to play out in the court of public opinion first. So now when it goes to, okay, now when it goes to the court of law, everybody done heard about it. Everybody done heard about it because it has hit social media. So now you got jurors that's tainted, you know what I'm saying? And so instead of them going by what the evidence that they see, they start saying, well, I remember, so and so content creator was talking about this, or the news was talking about this. And so, yeah, this person is guilty. They not going by the evidence that they see. Okay, so nobody could get in here and tell me that's how the juror's supposed to play out. I've been on the jury panel before. But I ain't never get picked. Cause I was up there telling the truth. Nah, this person, they look innocent to me. No, not innocent. I'm sorry. I told the judge, no, he guilty. The judge said, what? You didn't hear anything. I like, no, I just can tell the way he looks. He's guilty. The judge said, you dismissed. Go back to the room. You know what I'm saying? And I know that that was wrong, but that's what it looked like to me. Okay? So what I'm trying to say is that this is what they do to get people taken under. Let's let it play out in the court of public opinion, and then we gonna go and prosecute them. And the district attorney, they should have put him up on charges because he found no evidence of two of the young men who touched this woman. They claim they found no evidence in this bathroom of two of the young men, okay, that touched this woman. The other young man, they found evidence because he lived there. That was his place. Okay? So they found his how you say that? They said they found his DNA and knee and stuff like that. It was his bathroom. It was his bathroom, of course. Okay? So, and even with this woman coming and saying that she was touched, that they R-worded her, they didn't find any parts of these young men flowing inside of her. Y'all know what I mean. I'm trying to break it down. Okay? So they didn't find anything of these three young men, but they continue to pursue this case. Now, yes, the young men were able to sue the school and everything like that, but can you imagine if the prosecutor would have got his way? These three men would be in prison right now. Them young men would be in prison right now. And then her coming out saying that, they not guilty. You know what I'm saying? They not guilty. Now her coming out saying in 18 years, these young men would have served 18 years in prison. 18 or 17 years in prison. If the prosecution would have got, the prosecutor would have got his way. So now, and I'm going to share something with you. I never liked the slogan, believe all women. I never liked this slogan because I know some of my sisters lie, no matter what color they are. I know some of my sisters lie. It aggravates me so because when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, why is it that when these women get some type of way, they will go and destroy? She said she was looking for validation. She said she was looking for validation. And she should have been looking to Yahweh for validation. Okay? She was looking for validation from men. That's what she claimed. But can you imagine how this woman, if the prosecutor, if listen, if this thing would have went another way, okay, if they didn't see that this was a witch hunt, okay, because this was a witch hunt on these three young men. If they didn't find out that this was a witch hunt, these three men would have went to prison. They would have went to prison. Mm-mm-mm. Renee says some women don't report the abuse because of these types of lies, because these types of liars. It's true. It's true. And I'm going to share something with you. When women come out here and do all this foolery, you know what I'm saying? When they come out here and do all this foolery, when the real ones, when it really happened, just like Renee just said, when it really happened, they scared to say something. They scared to say something because people will think that they're liars. The thing is that we don't care about men. That's why it's easy for women to get up here and just lie. We don't care about men. We have no respect at all. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to men, it's like a second class citizen thing going on. Okay? Because you don't have any evidence, but you believe her out the gate. 86 professors, I think they said, from Duke. Okay? They were running with all this. 86, I think they said, but I might be wrong about the number. 86 professors were running with this, saying, look at these three Caucasian young boys, our word, a black young lady. And they were on fire. 2006, they were on fire. Okay? They were on fire about this. In 2006, they were saying that this woman has been done wrong. They had did all this foolery to her, and they were running with it. They were on her side. They had no evidence that it was these three young men. They had no evidence. They just knew she was at the party. Okay? Her and her friend were the strippers at the party. The other stripper left her, was like, nah, I'm done. This is foolery. Probably because she knew this girl was nonsense. Okay? Because even Crystal talked about, oh, I held on to my girlfriend. I was holding on for dear life because they were trying to pull me into some room. And the other stripper said, ain't none of that happened. Ain't none of that happened. She was passed out on a porch or something like that. She was like, I just left. I just left. Okay, Temple, yes, I know. She's in prison right now on an M charge. Yes, she is. She's in prison right now. She had deleted her boyfriend. Okay? That's why she telling. She done found Jesus. You know what I'm saying? It's always when they find Jesus that you know now they confessing. When just you supposed to know right from wrong. We know right from wrong, but we choose to not do right. You know what I'm saying? I only why I'm saying this because it brings me to a lot of cases when you have these women that will get up here and do a full on church dance crying that somebody R word her. And then 18, 19, 20, 25 years later, I done found Jesus. And so now I gotta repent now. It took you that long to come tell the truth. Good morning, Melania. How are you? It took you that long to tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? And you right about that. I don't get why people don't just leave relationships instead of the M word. I'm telling you, just leave. Just leave. It ain't worth taking somebody's life. Just leave. But can you imagine how she just did a full on church dance about these three young men R-wording her and was so proud walking into this courthouse, okay? Was so proud walking into this courthouse because she felt, validated, by all these people interviewing her, questioning her, and because she wanted attention. Attention is a hell of a drug. We all know that, right? But women, we love it the most. We love it the most. We love that attention the most. This is why some of y'all women who are lost will get out here on social media and be booty butt naked. Okay, and I don't even know how Instagram don't take y'all stuff down. I don't even know how Instagram don't take y'all stuff down. Y'all be booty butt naked. Some young woman who following me, I don't even know why she following me, but she's following me, and I went to check her page. All you see is ass and titties. I went to check her. I'm like, what is going on here? And I just had to come out because attention. Listen, it's a hell of a drug. Y'all want attention so bad that you will take the evil attention too. You know what I'm saying? Not that, oh, I'm a good woman. You know what I'm saying? Not that I get out here and I give some good advice. I'm teaching somebody how to cook. I'm teaching someone how to clean properly. I'm teaching someone how to love their husband. I'm teaching someone how to be kind to their children. No, it's not that. It's not that. Ass and titties is the new drug. Okay? And it hurts so bad. This young woman could have ruined these three young men. She could have ruined their life. She could have ruined their life. Let's get into the foolery. Here's the first cut from the CNN interview that she recently did on somebody's podcast, but CNN got the cut of it. Okay, let's get into the first one. All right, gonna be that commercial first, y'all. Gonna be that commercial first. It's so sad. It's so sad. And now look at that. 18 years we out here dissecting this foolery. It's terrible.
Stunning admission from a woman who accused Duke University lacrosse player.
Oh, fair use, because I'm gonna be in everybody videos today. Fair use. First, shout out to CNN.
She lied about the encounter. Crystal Mangum first made the claims back in 2006, saying 3 members of the school's lacrosse team raped her after she had been hired to dance at a house party the team was throwing. Police charged David Evans, Colin Finnerty, and Reed Seligman after Mangum's accusations. But after much back and forth and the city's DA stepping down from the case, North Carolina's Attorney General later dismissed the charges, citing a lack of evidence. But now, going on the record on a podcast nearly 20 years later, Crystal Mangum says she was lying the whole time.
I testified falsely against them by saying that they raped me when they didn't, and that was wrong. And I betrayed the trust of a lot of other people who believed in me. And made up a story that wasn't true because I wanted validation from people and not from God. And that was wrong when God already loved me for who I was, regardless. I didn't need to seek validation from him because I already had validation from him. I just didn't know it. And I hurt my brothers. And I hope.
And you hear her call the 3 gentlemen. You hear her call them, I hurt my brothers. Because I kept saying, who is she talking about when she's saying my brothers? I guess she's talking about them being her brothers in Christ. Okay, so let's continue.
That they can forgive me. And I want them to know that I love them. And they didn't deserve that. And I hope they can forgive me. And that I hope that they can heal and trust God and know that God loves them and that God is loving them through me, letting them know that they're valuable and that they didn't deserve that.
Joining now is CNN's Jean Casares, who reported heavily on.
She says she wants them to know that they're valuable and they did not deserve that. Why 18 years though? You know, why it took you 18 years to come and confess the truth? 18 years though. You know what I'm saying? 18 years. And these young men from the Duke Lacrosse team, okay, these players, their life got destroyed. Even though they sued the school, okay, even though they sued the school, the court of public opinion is something else. Do you hear me? Good morning, green beans. The court of public opinion is a problem. This is why anything that happened, they unleash it on the court of public opinion first. Here we go.
Case, Jean, give us a sense of how impactful and controversial these accusations and the result were at that time. I remember, you remember this story all too well. I mean, this was literally a firestorm of a story back in 2006. The entire country was watching it, and to hear this admission all these years later, it's just extraordinary.
And 3 young lives were destroyed at that time. You know, it was 2006. It was Durham, North Carolina. I was there. I was covering this. And Crystal Mangum made the accusation that she was raped by David Evans, Colin Finnerty, and Reed Seligman. And there were charges, very serious sexual assault charges that had terms of imprisonment for the rest of their lives. And in Durham, That's where it started, and everyone took Crystal Magnum's side because she came out with details, very specific, graphic details. And the young men said, we didn't do this. But Duke University did not stand by them either. They were just really silent, but everyone was focused that she was telling the truth. They weren't. Then it went to a national level, and their names became household names, and they were taken into court on these very serious.
Renee, you right. Life got to that butt. You right. Life got to that butt. God may have spoken to her heart for something or someone she loves. Now, this is true. This is true, but 18 years? 18 years. That's crazy. Thank God that these men didn't go to prison, because a lot of them make it to the prison. A lot of these men make it to prison. And then after 20, 25 years, the woman comes out and confess that he didn't do anything, that it was consensual. Okay? Let's continue, y'all. Let's continue.
And they were in college. They were at Duke University. Furthermore, the lacrosse team, their entire season was canceled. The coach was fired. So there were ramifications from it. Now, 1 year later, the attorney general exonerated them of innocence. But there's so much more to the story. I was in the courtroom, and Mike Nifong, the district attorney of Durham, was charged with criminal contempt and then also for disbarment of his bar license. And it came out what the truth was. One of the defense teams had a young attorney, just got out of law school, and he would stay up at night reading the thousands of pages of DNA evidence. And he found something in one of those thousands of pages that confirmed that their DNA was not a part of DNA that they had collected from her. And that...
So it took a young attorney that was wet behind the ears to search through the evidence to find that these 3 young men were not guilty. And y'all know that district attorney, he sat on that mess. He sat on it. Okay? Good morning, Dr. Steele. He sat on that. Okay? He sat on that. They should have locked him up. When district attorneys know that they have the truth and they sit on it, they should lock them up. They should lock them up. They should go to jail too. I ain't lying. They should go to jail too. Let's continue with this foolery. Here we go.
That evidence is actually one of the major factors that they were exonerated, and that came out during Mike Nifong's trial. He was convicted, by the way, the district attorney, who had stood by her and had done many interviews about how she was raped so viciously. And then they reclaimed their lives. But right there, I believe that's David Evans right there, he said that he, at the time, because he was in the courtroom during Mike Nifong's trial, he wanted to become an attorney because he wanted to help others who were wrongfully accused. And I don't know if that happened, but that is what he wanted at that time. But they'll always be the 3 Duke lacrosse players, right?
Yeah.
If you say the name Colin Finnerty,
she's right. They're gonna always, I don't care. Once you hear these 3 names, they're always going to be linked to the Duke lacrosse players. Okay? This whole big scandal, those 3 young men, they will always be linked. But 18 years it took her to come and say something. 18 years. That is terrible. That's terrible. And it should be some type of consequences when women do this foolery. But the thing is, they claim, oh, we don't want to scare women who this might really have happened to, scared to come forth. No. If somebody hurts you, come forth. Come forth. But for these women who destroy men's lives, and all they come out and say just this. This is what they come out and say. Okay? This is what they come out and say. After they have destroyed somebody's life, this is what they come out and say.
I testified falsely against them by saying that they raped me when they didn't, and that was wrong. And I betrayed the trust of a lot of other people who believed in me. And made up a story that wasn't true because I wanted validation from people and not from God. I testified falsely against them.
I testify falsely against them. And then we're going to continue to play the video. But she says, I falsified, okay? And then she says, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's the magic word. I'm sorry. You know, after you have taken somebody's life, their livelihood, I'm sorry. Good morning, King Ball. How are you? Long time no see. You know, now I'm sorry after 18 years. Can you imagine? Can you imagine wherever they went? Because this story made headlines all over the United States. This story made headlines. It was not what is right and what is wrong. You know what it was? It was black and white. It wasn't what is right and what is wrong. It was black and white. Okay? Black and white fighting amongst each other. It was not who is right and who is wrong. This is why the district attorney had found out the truth, but he sat on it. He found out the truth, but he sat on it. Good morning, Zulu. How are you? He found out the truth, but he sat on it. And if it wasn't because of that young lawyer who was wet behind the ears and wanted to do the right thing and search, these 3 young men would be in prison. They would have to be talking about trying to release these 3 men. But how many men who are not as lucky as these 3? How many men are not as lucky as these 3 that they go and do 25, 30 years? And then you got the woman come out and say, I'm sorry. You know, I found Jesus. And I'm sorry for what I had done. You know what I'm saying? It's evil. Through the Fire podcast, good morning. He says, good morning. Just got home from work. I'll be sleeping 15 minutes. Cook my sister. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Okay. Now, this is the foolery. Let's continue.
Especially if you live in Durham, you're going to know who that is.
And Gene, that school's lacrosse program was just smeared. I mean, and yeah. I'm sure and the school just suffered major reputational damage after that. Is there anything that could come as in part of the fallout of this? I mean, could there be some sort of lawsuit? I suppose there might not be much to sue for here. It doesn't sound like Crystal has a whole lot of assets on her.
Well, she's in prison.
Yeah,
she's in prison right now for murder.
Wow.
And so that's true. There were several lawsuits at the time, one against Duke, another against Durham, the city of Durham. But now that she has come out on the record saying it, let's see legally what is available, because it has been almost 20 years, and I'm sure her resources are very, very sparse at this point. But we have tried to contact the 3 now men involved in this, their attorneys, and a local paper said that there are not comments at this point of their reaction to all of this.
Wow. All right, Gene, stand by. Really appreciate you being on with us this morning. I do want to go to Caterina DePasquale. She is the podcaster who interviewed Crystal Mangum when this admission was offered up. Caterina, I understand you're on the phone with us. Tell us a little bit about this interview. And how did this come about?
Well, so I'm a New Yorker who lives in Durham, North Carolina. I started my show, Let's Talk with Cat.com, and I was looking for an interesting interview. In my circle, people have talked about Crystal, and there was so much mystery around it for me because it seemed like some people viewed her as a pariah and some people still viewed her as a victim. And so I just thought, I want to find out for myself who this person is, and I wanted to see the reasonings behind decision making, and just that's where I was heading.
Yeah, but Kat, tell me about this admission. I mean, she just blurted it out. Did you have to press her? How did that go down?
So my intentions had nothing to do with getting any confessions out of Crystal. I contacted her via our online platform, and I asked her if I could interview her. And the protocol of this prison was that she needs to mail me a letter and confirm if she's down for the interview. She did. She mailed me a letter, and in the letter, she said that she would like to give me an interview, but also she would like to apologize to Duke Lacrosse players.
So this is the only time she thought that it's okay now. Let me just confess now. Because right now she's in jail on an M charge right now. Good morning, Mr. He said, how are you? Good morning to all the newcomers that just came in. I appreciate you for coming. So now, because she's in prison now for the murder charge, the M charge, okay, that now she wants to confess, what she has done. She has found Jesus in the prison, okay? So now it's time for her to come out and tell her story. And this is the sad thing about when men get accused of stuff. See, when women get accused of stuff, right, somehow it disappears. It get gone. Like when you hear that teachers are touching the students in school, boy students in school, somehow you don't hear it no more. Like you hear it one time and then it flash out, it's gone. You know what I'm saying? But when something happens with a man, it stays. That's the lifetime right there. Once a man get accused of something, it's on him. It's on him. Even if he's found, not guilty. Okay? They gonna still, the court of public opinion will keep that. Okay? Because when a woman do it, they will say she was seduced. Oh, she was seduced, a child, a teenager seduced the teacher, She was seduced, and that's what happened. This is a grown-ass woman, but she was seduced. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that irks my nerve, That irks my nerve. Because I don't care how many judges, okay? I don't care how many judges say that this man is free. He's not guilty. The court of public opinion will hold this man to the day he died. Even while he in the casket, they going to replay the accusation and say, well, they will play the accusation and say, well, we not, this is what they said he did. Nobody will come out and say, well, he was freed from it from the court of law. No, everybody always forget that last part. Okay, no, there was a trial, but he was freed by his peers, or he was freed by the judge, or something like that. You will never hear that part. You will just hear the accusation. Okay? And so now we supposed to take pity for you. A lot of y'all women who do this nonsense. We supposed to take pity for you once you find Jesus. Once you find Jesus, we supposed to take pity for you. Attention is a hell of a drug. I'm telling you. Just to have the attention of a man is a hell of a drug. Because I'm going to share something with you. This is why a lot of y'all young women get on these social media and y'all be booty butt naked. Y'all be booty butt naked because the attention that you receive, even though it's bad attention, these people who looking at you and you getting all these likes and following and stuff like that, nobody's going to take you home, baby. Nobody's gonna take you home. People are just looking. Then later, when you get as old as me, you're wondering why you don't have a husband. Because people are remembering you out here booty butt naked on your social media page. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. Let's continue.
So she
So
just
that was
says,
it was surprising.
yeah, and she just says she made it up. It was a false accusation. Did she say
Yes,
why?
but I wonder about, yes, well, so yes, if you watch the full interview, there are like about 5 questions before she confesses, because I thought about it, and my platform is about finding out reasoning behind decision making, and so I attempted to look to see who Crystal was on a human level, and understand why she made the decision that she made. So yeah.
It's really extraordinary. Well, Katerina, thank you so much for sharing this with us.
I don't understand why she made the decision that she made. This young woman who's on the phone talking about, I tried to. No, I don't want to understand why she made that decision. I don't want to understand that she lied on these 3 young men and could have destroyed their life. But then you don't even know if she actually succeeded in destroying their life. Okay? You don't even know if she succeeded in destroying their life. Because the court of public opinion is something else. Do you hear me? The court of public opinion is something else. This is why anytime they have any type of case, they will unleash, okay? They will unleash this thing out into the masses first before they take it to court. They got to find you guilty in the court of public opinion first. And then it'll make it easy to destroy you in the court system. Oh my goodness. So it breaks my heart when you see stuff like this and all they have to say is that they're sorry. That's all they have to say is that they're sorry. 60 Minutes is up next. 60 Minutes is up next. We about to get into this foolery. Fair use, fair use. 60 Minutes is up next. Dr. Steele, anybody who lies to get out of a bad situation is selfish. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are correct. Oh, my goodness. Here we go. Here's the next one, y'all. Here's the next one. You know it's going to be a commercial first. Here's the next one.
More than 6 months ago, Duke University and the city of Durham, North Carolina were rocked by charges that Duke lacrosse players raped an exotic dancer at a teen party. 60 Minutes correspondent Ed Bradley got exclusive interviews with the 3 players charged in the case, including former co-captain Dave Evans.
Do you ever think that if this does go to trial, that if you're convicted, you could face a lot of time in prison? Do you ever think about that?
Would you?
Sure.
Yeah. 30 years I could go to jail for something that never happens, based on a lie.
30 years.
Ed Bradley's here with us this morning. Good morning, Ed.
Good morning, Hannah.
You spoke to all 3 of these young men. Are they scared? They've all said they're innocent.
I think that they do have some fear. As Dave says, he's looking at 30 years in prison for something he says he didn't do. Based on the evidence, they feel they shouldn't be in this position. So they feel confident that they're innocent. But having said that, they are in this position indicted based on evidence that they don't think should have put them there.
A couple of key points to be made, and one of them is the lineup that the accuser looked at to pick out players who had allegedly raped her. What were the problems with that lineup?
Well, the lineup violated the Durham police rules, state rules, Justice Department rules. We've all seen these TV shows where the suspect comes in and there are 4 or 5 people who have nothing to do with the crime. It's the same thing in a photo lineup. They're called fillers, those extra people. You had pictures of people who were there and pictures of people who had nothing to do with it. The accuser was shown pictures of everyone who's at the party, all of the lacrosse players.
Now, that was the messed up part with the prosecutors and the police. Because you know, in a lineup, you supposed to put the actual people who you said did it, okay? The actual people who were accused of doing it. And then you supposed to put, you know, fake people that she never seen before, okay, in the lineup. That's how you do it. But what they did was they put all the lacrosse players in the lineup. Now, you know, she's seen all of them, but they put all the lacrosse players in the lineup. That prosecutor, he should go to jail. He should go to jail too. He should go to jail too. When you doing nonsense like this, you should go to jail too. You know, because you seeking re-election or something, you trying to get another term. So, you know, some prosecutors, they get like the big case. They get this big outblown case, and you know, they know this case gonna make or break them. So they will go and grab something and go wild with it. Even a prosecutor was out there saying that these young men did it. You didn't have enough evidence to say that it was them. But even him, and this was a white man, y'all. Okay? This was a Caucasian man, y'all. The prosecutor was a Caucasian man. He came out because, see, listen, money is something else. You hear me? Okay? Money is something else. You hear me? Keeping your top position is something else. Okay? So, no, I got to railroad these young men. Let me railroad them. So he came out and was like, they're guilty. He ain't had nothing. He ain't have nothing to say that they were guilty. But he came out and said, we will not put up with that. Durham will not put up with this. They guilty. Let's continue.
Shooting fish in a barrel. She could pick anyone, and she would pick someone who was there.
You've also spoken with the other dancer who was there that night, along with the accuser, a young lady named Kim Roberts. Let's take a look at that.
In the police statement, she describes the rape in this way. 3 guys grabbed Nikki, that's you. Brett, Adam, and Matt grabbed me. They separated us at the master bedroom door while we tried to hold on to each other. Brett, Adam, and Matt took me into the bathroom. Were you holding on to each other? Were you pulled apart? Is that true?
No.
No.
Did she give you any
true.
reason to believe that she had been assaulted or abused in any way?
Mm-mm.
None whatsoever?
Mm-mm.
Did she at any point that night say anything about being in pain or having been hurt in any way?
Mm-mm. She obviously wasn't hurt, or because, she was fine.
So she disputes the accuser's story.
So the girl that was with Crystal, the other dancer that was with her, hello, Ellis, what's going on, baby? So the other dancer that was with her said that didn't happen. Nobody pulled us apart. Nobody pulled me into the master bedroom, and nobody pulled her into the bathroom. Okay? This is where the problem lies, right here in that bathroom. Because the other 2 that was accused of this evil crime, okay, the other 2 that was accused of this evil crime, there was no evidence that they were in that bathroom. Okay? Y'all know what evidence I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. There was no evidence that they were in that bathroom. Now, the other one One of the young men, it was evidence they were in that bathroom, but remember, his parents own that house. Okay? His parents own that house, or either, this is where he lived at, or either this was a fraternity house. I don't know. Okay? Because the news didn't say it was a fraternity house. But I guess that's probably where it would be, right? Because this is them enjoying themselves while they're in college, I guess. So let's continue with the nonsense. Here we go.
She disputes the accuser's story as it was given in the accuser's police statement. She refuted every point.
How many different versions have we heard of what happened that night?
You know, the accuser has had several different accounts. First it was 3, then it was 5. She changed the number of people, the description of the people. She couldn't recognize some of the people from the photo lineup.
She was changing the number of people. First it was 3, then it was 5. She even changed the look of the people as well. One of them, she gave a mustache, and the young man ain't never have a mustache before. Her whole story could have been, you know what I'm saying? They could have poked holes in her whole story. But because this was national news, okay, and this is putting white against black, not right and wrong. And that's the thing that irks my nerve when it comes to this gender war. It's not, we in here talking about this is that, but we should be in here talking about what is right and what is wrong. What is right and what is wrong. Let's continue.
They picked out one person. She said, oh, yeah, that was him, but he had a mustache. He'd never had a mustache.
What's been established in terms of DNA evidence in this case?
Bottom line is there was none. I mean, the players voluntarily offered to give their DNA. The district attorney said this will rule out all of the innocent people. It turned out that there was no DNA from any player on or inside her or in that bathroom, with the exception of perhaps Dave Evans, because it was his bathroom. So she said she lost fingernails in a struggle during this rape. Well, there were 2 fingernails found in the trash can. There was DNA evidence that could have belonged to Dave Evans, but his argument is it was my bathroom, my trash can, my toilet tissue, my dental floss, all of these things that you throw in the trash can. Surely my DNA is going to be in the trash can.
Your report and others just continue to raise questions about what real hard evidence there is in this case. What sort of doubts are there about the district attorney, Mike Nifong, who was so confident in prosecuting this case? He said there was no doubt in his mind that this young woman had been raped.
I think the biggest difficulty with the prosecutor, DA Mike Nifong, is that he said they were guilty before he examined the evidence.
He did.
He said they were guilty before any police reports were written.
He did.
He said they were guilty before they questioned all of the witnesses in the case. He called them guilty.
Think it'll go to trial?
I think he's determined to take it to trial, but if people there look at the evidence, they say, how can he go to trial based on this kind of evidence?
And for now, the trial is set for this spring, and we look forward to seeing the rest of your report. Ed, thanks for being here with us this morning. We appreciate it. Of course,
they wasted taxpayer money on a lie when all they had to do was look at the evidence, and this thing would not have went to trial. But remember, at that day and time, 2006, okay? 2006, okay? Tensions have always been high between Caucasian people and African American. It has always been high between us. But the true problem is that if we ever come together, that would be the problem of the Western world. If we ever came together and stopped dividing, okay, ourselves, that would be the true problem of the Western world. Now, they didn't have enough evidence to crucify these 3. They didn't. Her story kept changing, but they continued on to decimate these young men's lives. They continued on because that prosecutor was, he He wanted blood. He wanted blood, and then he wanted that big paycheck. He wanted that bonus. You know what I'm saying? To be reelected again. Okay? This is why without the evidence, okay? Without the evidence, without hearing anything from the police, the statements, he went on live TV and said they are guilty. He went on live TV in 2006 and said these 3 young men are guilty. And so the school hurried up, dismantled the lacrosse team. They did all this nonsense to these young men just because they believed this young woman. They believed this young woman. Even though it was holes all in her story. It was holes all in her story. That's right. You are correct. You are correct. I see you. That's the prosecutor's job, is to investigate, not just get a conviction. You are correct. You are correct. Can you imagine? Renee says to 18, I guess her demons got their way. Now in prison. Wow, God is real. Yes, God is real. Ain't that terrible? That's terrible. After 18 years, now you come and say, I hope they forgive me. I love my brothers. After you have crucified these 3 young men.
Full report, including the interviews with all 3 of the players who were charged, on 60 Minutes. That's Sunday at 7, 6 Central, right here on CBS.
Shout out to 60 Minutes. Shout out to 60 Minutes. Oh my goodness. Fair use, okay? Fair use. So we got something else coming straight from Fox News. This was back in the day. I had to go search y'all in the archives. This is back in the day, okay? Here we go. Here's the breakdown. This is back in the day, honey.
I remember the man, not this man, but a man who led Duke University's investigation to the lacrosse program, saying the DA, Mike Nifong, in the video here in the rape case, should hit the road. Duke law professor James Coleman saying a special prosecutor now has to step in and handle that case. Should the DA be replaced? Good move or not? Defense Attorney Jill Davis is here. Jill, good afternoon to you.
Hi, Bill. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Psychologist Gail Gross is here today, and also the author of the book Fight Back and Win, attorney Gloria Allred. And good afternoon, ladies, to all 3 of you. Gloria, what do you think? Mike Nifong, take a step aside, clear the plate?
Well, Bill, I imagine that the defense would not want the prosecutor to step aside because they like having a punching bag. They like having someone that they can beat up on and say that he was only doing this, filing this case to make political points because he was running for election. So I don't think they'd want him to step aside. And I don't think the prosecutor wants to step aside because then that might be some sort of concession by him that he's done something wrong.
So then if the defense doesn't want it, what do you say, Jill? Is this time for Mike Nifong to say, we got to clear the plate in this matter?
Well, I agree with Gloria that if he did step aside, then the defense is going to have a heyday with that he only brought this case for political motivations. And if he...
But that's what he did, though. That's why he brought the case forward. It was just for political. You know what I'm saying? That's why he brought it forward. He knew he didn't have enough evidence to try it, but that's why he brought it forward. Most prosecutors, and because they're trained to know this, they this is why they have a law degree. They know what should go to trial and what should not. But this right here made headlines. So now I can, this is my thing, This was me. I took down the lacrosse team. I took down all of them. You know what I'm saying? Even when you know it was a lie. Even when you know it was a lie. This is why I don't like the saying, believe all women. That bothers me. That bothers me because some of y'all are liars. Some of y'all are liars. That bothers me. Look at the woman now. She's running around. Shout out to Crimson Cure. Crimson Cure dissected the foolery of the woman that she says I married a monster or something like that. Y'all remember a couple weeks ago. She's doing a whole tour right now. Shout out to Crimson for doing the damn thing. She doing a whole tour right now, going to people podcasts, jumping up in people podcasts, trying to tell, her story, her fake story. I said fake. Her fake story and crying and everything. And because, let me share something with you. When a woman is beautiful, you're more likely to believe her when she's beautiful. I ain't lying. Because the way she cries is so sweet. Like, oh, and the cry is so sweet. Like, just a little, don't want to mess up that makeup. You know what I'm saying? Just, oh my goodness. And then, she does the shaking of the hair. You know what I'm saying? So now, a beautiful woman, you can believe. You can believe that lie, And I'm going to share something with you. A lot of these content creators who are interviewing her, nobody asks any hard questions. You know what I'm saying? Nobody asks any hard questions. Okay? So when you don't ask any hard questions, a beautiful person can fool you. Okay? If you don't ask her, well, why is this and why is that? You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you. Just to, oh my goodness. And oh my goodness. And a beautiful person will fool you. A beautiful person will fool you. See, only someone who understands what the hell is going on, okay, can say, wait a minute. Wait a minute, because what you just said, that don't add up. How is it that you was making over 90,000, okay, at your job, your family business, you were making 90,000 and then you decided to just marry and not work no more? This is a family business. Who does that? Who does that? You're making 90,000 a year and then you boom. I'm going to start working and my husband going to take care of me. You making 90,000 and it's a family business where you could probably bring your kids and put them in your office or something like that. This is a family business. You know what I'm saying? And so now you stop making 90,000 a year. Okay. You start making all this money. Okay. Because you want to go be, a stay-at-home mom. And I'm quite sure your husband would have said, honey, let's continue. Let's continue with this job. Don't just give up on this job. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Crimson Cure for doing the damn thing. Shout out to Crimson for doing the damn thing. Okay? Oh my goodness. Let's continue, y'all.
Beside, then they would have maybe somebody new that they'd have to contend with, and he's a known factor. However, they want the case tried. The defense thinks they have a very winnable case, and they want to go to trial now. These boys' lives are hanging in the balance. I think if a new prosecutor comes in, then they have a better shot of getting their day in court sooner.
Well, we're waiting on that. Dr. Gail Gross, what do you think?
Well, I'm a family and child development specialist, so I look at the history of everything. And until we have the facts, till it's all in, I don't know that we can really make a determination on what's going on.
But when you hear this law professor set to lead up an investigation of the team, doesn't that carry a little bit of weight?
It does. But, in situations that are so emotional, that have such a charge, that people are invested in, you have to really take a look at what are the benefits. What does somebody benefit from going forward, holding back? So you really have to look at the big picture. And until all that information is in, I don't see how you can really make a determination.
Gloria, the thing this professor said, I want to quote him right now, he says, I don't think he's showing detached judgment. How do you interpret that?
What?
Well, of course, that's the defense point of view, which is...
But this is not a defense attorney saying that. That's the law professor who came in and said, hey, listen, for the betterment of all this, step to the side and we'll start anew.
Yeah.
Well, Bill, I do think that the prosecutor made some mistakes early on in being out there too much and talking to the press and saying too much.
Saying they guilty.
There was that euphoria moment where he was out there, he'd filed the charges, or the grand jury had indicted, and he expressed a degree of certainty about his case. And of course, the balloon had to come down, and it has come down. It's got a number of puncture wounds because the defense has been aggressively out there in the court of public opinion, piercing that balloon that was floated up there by the prosecutor. So I'm more concerned, frankly, not about the prosecutor, but about the alleged victim and about the other dancer who is now given an interview to Vanity Fair. I don't think that dancer should have been out there giving interviews. She should have saved her.
Laura, there's a lot of people talking in this case. Jill, I've got about 15 seconds. We hear about special prosecutors in Washington. We don't hear about them in rape cases in Durham, North Carolina. How likely is that?
Yeah, in Durham, North Carolina, I know. I mean, I was surprised when I heard about the law professor coming out so vocally to appoint a special prosecutor. Certainly, Mike Nifong's office has no comment, but I'm beginning to get on board with that myself. I mean, I didn't think it could be possible because you're right. We hear about it in political arenas, but I think it's a good idea.
You got it. Jill, thanks to you. Gloria Allred, thanks to you. And Dr. Gail Gross, thanks as well. Come back again, okay? Thank you, ladies.
Bye,
in a moment from Tennessee, the minister's wife...
That's terrible. That is terrible. That's terrible. So you would rather just have your name in lights than tell the truth. You would rather have your name in lights than tell the truth, that these young men were innocent. The court of public opinion fried these gentlemen. They fried these men. These young gentlemen, they fried them. Honey, they fried them, okay? They fried them. And it's terrible. This is listen, let's continue. We're about to get on to something else, okay? We're about to get on to something else, okay? Shout out to Fire Podcast. We about to get into this. Here we go.
What was remarkable is that lots of figures within the media, within the Duke faculty, and to a certain extent within the Duke administration, not only presumed the players to be guilty, but then drew these very broad moral judgments. It was a completely closed-minded early approach to the case. My name is Casey Johnson. I'm a professor of history at Brooklyn College and the CUNY Graduate Center. I wrote a blog on the Duke Lacrosse case called Durham in Wonderland and co-wrote a book on the case with Stuart Taylor called Until Proven Innocent. During spring break, when most of the students at Duke were off campus, the captains of the lacrosse team came up with the not-so-bright idea of inviting two strippers to perform for the players. One of them was this woman, Crystal Mangum, who we subsequently learned had very severe mental problems. She arrived, she had no particular interest in performing. It appears as if she was on some sort of combination of alcohol and prescription drugs. And the party relatively quickly turned ugly. There was a shouting match between the other dancer and members of the team. By this point, most of the guys had already left. And then the second dancer, a woman named Kim Roberts, drove off. And in a normal circumstance, no one ever would have heard of this again. But as Roberts drove off, she found out that her fellow dancer had passed out. She called the police to come and get Mangum to take her either home or to a psychological institution. Mangum, when she was awakened by the police, she was going to be admitted to a psychological institution and was prompted improperly by a nurse who asked her whether she had been raped. And Mangum, who knew the system well, said yes. She was sent to Duke Hospital and she made an allegation.
Now, when she was sent to the hospital and, they have to do the R kit on her, right? They didn't find anything. They didn't find any of these gentlemen, their DNA on her. They didn't find anything at all. Okay? She said she was, trying to fight off these gentlemen, and she broke her nails. So 2 nails were inside the garbage can in the bathroom. That more than likely she broke off and threw in the bathroom. Okay? These young men didn't have any wounds on them, like she scratched them up or anything like that. Good morning, Trey. How are you? Good morning, Daniel. How you doing? So there was no evidence of anything happening to her. But this prosecutor, was ready to make a name for himself. Okay? So let me destroy the lives of these young men because I'm trying to make a name for myself. Yes, we remember. We just talked about her the other day, my dear. Let's continue. This is nonsense.
We saw a kind of mob mentality that took hold of the activist wing of the Duke faculty, which culminated in an April 2006 statement signed by 88 Duke faculty members called the Group of 88, in which before any charges even had been filed.
Okay, so I said 86, but it was a group of 88 professors. Okay, a group of 88 Duke University professors. Let's continue.
88 faculty members took out an ad, a full-page ad, in the Duke campus newspaper. They unequivocally asserted that something had happened to Crystal Mangum. She was claiming rape. The lacrosse players said nothing happened. They said that they would continue their...
And you know what? If I was the 3 that were accused, the 88 professors who took out that full-page ad in the school newspaper, the full-page ad, and was ready to crucify us 3, okay? I would have sued all of them. All of them would get sued right now. Right now, because she came and confessed, okay? All of them would get sued right now. Here we go. Even just the school got sued. But the 88, everybody would have their own personal lawsuits, okay? Not just the school, even though the school got the lawsuit, but those 88 professors would get the lawsuit too, baby. A brand new lawsuit. Yes, honey.
Regardless of what the court decided or what the police said, and they thanked public protesters for not...
I see what you put in here. Trump did that too to the Central Park 5. Check this out. Trump didn't mention the 5 gentlemen. He didn't mention them. He said that the Central Park is not safe. He said that because, listen, back in the day, you couldn't go in Central Park late at night. You couldn't go in there. Anybody that's from New York and New Jersey, like I am, well, I'm from New Jersey. New York, y'all do what y'all do now, okay? But we all know that you can't be in Central Park at a certain time, okay? So Trump didn't mention them directly. He didn't just say, oh, these 5, so-and-so and so-and-so. These 88, okay? These 88 professors mention these young men names in the article. Let's continue.
And making themselves heard. And the highest profile public protest that had occurred at that point had been a march in front of the captain's house in which protesters had carried large signs urging the castration of the lacrosse captains. So this was,
they wanted the castration of these young men. The castration. They were calling for castration. Oh my God. I saw the ad too. It didn't mention their names, baby. I'm sorry. It didn't mention their names. I saw the ad too. Yeah, I'm sorry. It didn't mention their names. Anyway, okay. Anyway, check this out. They asked for the castration of these three. Of these three, they asked for the castration. Can you imagine what these young men were going through on the campus? No, I'm not saying you blame. I'm not saying you blaming Trump for anything. I'm saying that we can't mix this together. It's not the same because they were outright, doing nonsense to these young people. Can you imagine going to school and they know you from the lacrosse team and they wishing death upon you and somebody should castrate you? And these are young people, These are young people. Okay? These are young people. Okay? And when you young, you take every thought about what somebody say about you. You take it in. It's only when you get old, you like, I don't give a fuck. Fuck you, bitch. You know what I'm saying? And you keep moving. But can you imagine? Let's continue.
A complete abandonment of any pretense of objectivity, of any interest in the truth. There were three elements that proved Mangum lied. The first and by far the most important was the DNA. Mangum's story was that she was sexually assaulted for 30 minutes by a group of people who did not use condoms. In such an assault, DNA would be left behind.
And he's right. She said they didn't use protection. Okay? Because most of the time in that type of, assault, that R word, nobody's reaching for anything. Okay? Nobody's reaching for anything. So there would have been evidence all around the bathroom. There would have been evidence all around. It would have been evidence inside of her. Okay? So when they did this R kit at the hospital, nothing was there. Okay? Trey, I'm sorry the music bothering you, sir. This video is 10 years old. This video 10 years old, so the music is like that. Let's continue.
Taken to the hospital. DNA samples were taken from all 46 white lacrosse players, and there were no matches to any 46. The second were the descriptions. Mangum did describe the people who attacked her. Those descriptions didn't resemble in any way any of the lacrosse players. And the third were the inconsistencies within Mangum's story. Mangum looked at a number of different photo arrays. There was only one lacrosse player that she positively identified as being at the party in every single photo array that she looked at. The problem is that was one lacrosse player who could prove that he was never in Durham. He actually wasn't in Durham County the night of the party. And that information was shared with prosecutors. So the prosecutors knew before they went forward that they had a wholly unreliable witness whose descriptions didn't match her alleged attack.
And they continued to go forward. This is where you get that believe all women. You don't have no proof, but once she say out her mouth that this is what happened and you didn't ask any more questions, you just believed her. Okay. Good morning, Quincy. Didn't have any more questions. You know what I'm saying? You're not giving her any questions. You just sitting up here believing what she's saying. You don't go into detail with her. And when you go into detail and you see she had fucked up, you just continue on with persecuting these young men. Y'all say y'all want to castrate somebody. You want to castrate somebody. This is why women like me that have sons, okay? This is why you always hear women like me get out here, we talk, because we have sons. We know what the world looks like. See, some of y'all who have sons and y'all can talk so evil about stuff like this. Men ain't shit, men ain't this, men ain't that. Okay? I don't know how you have the heart to talk like that. And you have a son. You have a boy child in your house. And you can talk like that, that men ain't shit, men ain't gonna never be shit, men ain't never was shit. I got a big linebacker in here. This boy he only 14 years old. Big boy, okay? He tower over me and his daddy. Every chance I get, I hug him and I kiss him. I love you. Mama, stop, mama. Mama, stop. I love you. I love you. You handsome. You gotta talk to these boys like that because the world is beating them up. The world is mistreating them. Because nobody care about men. Don't nobody care about men. Men are second-class citizens in here. Men are second-class citizens. If a man get out here and say, I did not do that. I was not with her. I don't know what she was talking about. Once the woman start crying, she get that, the little tissue, and the nose, she got to do the nose, okay? And now, you guilty. Okay? You guilty. You guilty. Okay, because she crying. Once she start crying, you guilty. Okay? You guilty. Once she start crying, you guilty. Don't make no sense at all. And some of us who have sons, we don't want to see our boys go through this. We don't want to see our boys go through this. Don't you know when this boy go off the couch, you know how many times I'm going to be telling him, don't have no girls in your room? You know what I'm saying? Don't have no girls in your room. Okay? When you go to a party, don't go up to nowhere with no girls. Okay? Don't go take nobody nowhere. Okay? Please be mindful of what you do. Okay? Once she say no, get up, put your clothes on. Don't sit up there and continue to talk to her. Once she say no, pull your clothes up, get up out of there. Get up out of Dodge. Don't stay there and let her talk. Oh no, let's just continue to talk. No. Once she say no, get your clothes on. I gotta go. I gotta go. I don't care how hot your body is. Get out of Dodge. It's time for you to go. Once she say no, I don't even care. She talking about, I was only playing. No. We not doing that. Pull your clothes up. Let's go. Get out of there. Because the first thing she gonna say is, I told him no. Even if the boy say, but she said she was playing. She said she was playing.
And where there was no medical basis to advance, to substantiate her charges.
We believe that these cases were the result of a tragic rush to accuse and a failure to verify serious allegations. Based on the significant inconsistencies between the evidence and the various accounts given by the accusing witness, we believe these three individuals are innocent.
The purpose of due process is to yield, is the best way of yielding a truthful result. No one benefits to begin with from a false allegation of rape yielding a conviction, because when these issues get published, as was the case with the Lacrosse case, it undermines a general presumption in the value of accusers. And the other thing about valuing due process is that it's facially neutral. It's not as if a system of due process benefits either the accused or the accuser. The purpose is to create a fair system. A lot of times what we're increasingly seeing on college campuses is that the process is designed with the presumption that the accuser must be telling the truth, and that testing that presumption is somehow another sexual assault on the accused.
I thought that was Potiphar. Joseph, I thought that was Potiphar. Yeah, Sean, what you just wrote right now. Remember Joseph in the Bible who spent years in prison after all what the king's wife said? Was that Potiphar that lied on Joseph? Potiphar's wife that lied on Joseph. Is that right? Let's continue. Let's continue. Yes, of course. Now Trey talking about women been lying from the beginning. Come on now. Let's come on now. You already know now. Let's not. Okay. Let's continue.
And this is entirely anathema to basic principles of due process, really both within the criminal justice system and within higher education as a whole.
I am not going to allow Durham's view in the mind of the world to be a bunch of lacrosse players from Duke raping a black girl in Durham.
Nifong as prosecutor seemed to be functioning as if his goal in the case was to violate as many different ethical procedures as he possibly could in one case.
Mike was a problem because he knew that this situation would make headlines. That's why he prolonged that thing. He prolonged that thing because of the coverage he was getting. Okay? Y'all seen him walking around with his Starbucks and stuff. He was getting coverage like crazy from that one case. That's why he kept holding it like that and getting out to the media talking about these boys is guilty. They're guilty. Even the school turned against him. Even the school turned against him.
So, he ordered the police to run this rigged photo lineup that contained only photos of lacrosse players, so anyone Mangum picked could be charged. He conspired with the former head of a DNA lab to ensure that the lab head would not fully report his DNA results which were exonerating of the players. He lied in open court to a judge, for which he eventually was held in criminal contempt and was sent to county jail for 1 day. He issued a barrage of inflammatory public statements which violated ethical rules for prosecutors. So Nifong's behavior was extraordinarily bad. It was, I think, unprecedented, the sort of behavior that we saw from the Duke faculty. And I can't think of another instance in modern higher education in which faculty members essentially chose to exploit their students' distress to advance a campus pedagogical agenda.
Trey, I see what you wrote, and that's when they should have known that this was some foolery, okay? But they did not. They continued with this nonsense. That's what they did. Okay, he put all the Duke lacrosse players in the lineup. Was he supposed to do that? Now, Trey been a police officer. He's a retired police officer. He already know the truth. That's why he putting it in there now. That was not supposed to happen. That lineup was not supposed to just be all the Duke lacrosse players. It was not. So if she would have picked either one of them, it wouldn't have mattered as long as they can take them down and place them there. Now, she picked one out of the lineup, okay? She picked one out of the lineup, but guess what? The one she picked, okay, was not even in Durham at the time. He wasn't even there. She picked somebody, but he wasn't there. Ain't that crazy? Let's continue.
Push their own ideological vision and to abandon any pretense of supporting fairness, due process, the dispassionate evaluation of evidence. So there were multiple villains in this case. The worst of them was Nifong in terms of the degree of the misconduct. But if we want to look at unprecedented conduct, I think the focus would be on the Duke faculty. The Times coverage, which was both relentless and one-sided, there were more than 100 articles or opinion columns in the Times about the Lacrosse case set the stage for the national media that, look, these guys must be guilty because it's the New York Times which is saying it, and if the Times is saying it, it must be true.
I don't think they want a lie detector test because they're afraid they won't.
How many people, when you saw something in the New York Times, you was like, this is true? How many people, read the New York Times back in the day? You know that it was true. Oh, you saw it there, because they credible, So you're like, yeah, they really did it. They really did it. Okay? They really did it. Can you imagine? Now, Derek said, I remember that case. I thought they was guilty. So many people will believe that, when you hear it about men, okay? I don't care what color the man is. When you hear it about men, okay? Happened like everything dropped, okay? Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? Can y'all see me now? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Okay. All right. Thank you. You said it's still buffering. The feed is buffering. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what happened. It just dropped. You got to be careful with these streams. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful what you be putting out on social media because, baby, you will get dropped, honey. They will drop your stuff, okay? Y'all forgive me. I'm sorry for the drop, okay? I don't know. Hopefully it come back up. I don't see anything on my computer yet, okay? All right. Okay, the ads came in. Okay, let's get it popping. Okay? Let's continue with the story. Here we go, y'all.
A lie detector test.
And I may be the last person willing to take the heat because the victim is certainly taking a beating, as is Mike Nifong, and it's really unconscionably unfair.
This was a case that served differing agendas of differing groups. For Nifong, he wanted guilt because it would help his cause in the primary. For the Duke faculty members, portraying their own students as racist advanced an on-campus agenda of making more hires, dealing with topics of race, class, and gender, and requiring more courses in race, class, and gender. And for the New York Times, this was a case that fit very much the basic assumptions of a typical Times journalist, that white male athletes were out of control, both sexual and racial connotations, and that advancing this would sort of advance a broader ideological agenda of the Times. And so it was almost a perfect storm of a case in which a variety of different groups could exploit the case for their own purposes.
So these three gentlemen, these young men, their lives could have been destroyed just by people pushing agendas. So the first agenda you had was the prosecutor. Second agenda you had were the 88 professors. Okay. The third agenda, okay. The third agenda, we have to make her third because no, we have to make her first. The first agenda would have been Crystal, then the prosecutor, then the school. You understand? And there were so many people, black activists, that were running behind Crystal saying that, okay, she's telling the truth. This is a black woman. You have to believe her that these Caucasian men, they R-word her. Why are y'all not taking this seriously? And all the while, this young woman was lying. All the while. The 88 professors, what they did, okay, and I had played it already earlier. What they did, they took out a full-page ad in the school newspaper. calling the lacrosse team the R word, calling them, saying that they should be, done away with, and they even had signs of the kids were in such an uproar, okay, at this school, okay, that they put signs of, castrating these young men, castrating these young men. Oh my goodness. Here we go.
A double jeopardy system had to be introduced so that if a verdict was not guilty, the accuser needed to have the right to appeal, and it strongly discouraged colleges from allowing the accused student to cross-examine his accuser within the disciplinary tribunal itself. Those procedures remain in place, and there's no indication that the federal government will be backing away from them anytime soon. And one of the things that we saw in the Duke Lacrosse case is that campuses today, for a variety of reasons, are already virtually uniquely hostile to students who are accused of sexual assault. And then we had the federal government coming in saying that even the minimal due process protections that often were afforded to students on campus had to be eliminated, had to be lowered, and the purpose seemed to be to make conviction of sexual assault in these campus tribunals far more likely.
For everyone who chose to speak out against us before any of the facts were known, I truly hope that you are never put in a position where you have to experience the same pain and heartache that you've caused our families. While you're hurtful,
he said, for the pain and heartache that you caused our families. Do you know how their family was ridiculed all because of a lie? Can you imagine the people in the town probably didn't even want to do business with their families, all because of the lie? Even the young men, about them being in the school, they probably had to hold their head down in shame because of all the evilness that they were saying. Castrate some young boys. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Matthew, I'm going to share something with you, Matthew. My polls is always easy. My polls will always be easy. My polls are, I just want to be right. That's what my polls are. My polls are not actually for the people who, oppose me. Yeah, that's how my channel is. That's how I gotta be truthful with it. I gotta be truthful with it. For all y'all who picked the 11%, something wrong with y'all. Something wrong with y'all. Okay? Because we cannot believe all women anymore. We should have been stopped with that phrase, believe all women. Because some of them get out here and tell you a whole cock and bull story. Okay? I'm tired of women coming to tell this story that, I went to his hotel room at 2:00 in the morning. I went to his dorm room at 3:00 in the morning. Okay? I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of, I just met him and I went back to his house and thought we were going to watch movies. And it's around 12 midnight. I'm tired of hearing that. You don't want to give up anything, baby. Don't go to nobody's house. Don't go to nobody's house. Tell them, honey, have a good night. I enjoyed the dinner. And you leave. That's what you're supposed to do. I enjoyed the dinner. Have a good night. And you leave. That's what you're supposed to do. Derek, thank you for being a member for 15 months. A 15-month memberships for 15 months. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much. One more time for the crowd in the back. So I'm tired of hearing that. I'm tired of hearing that. It's aggravating to me. You put yourself in a predicament, and so now when it doesn't go the way you think it's supposed to go, after he done You know, okay, because you was thinking y'all gonna be in a relationship and he told you no, he just wanted to. And so now, since he said he don't want to be in a relationship with you, okay, now he touched me. And I said no. Now he touched me, I said no. And then these same young women wait 20, 25 years after they had destroyed his life. They wait, okay? They wait all these years and now they want to come and tell the truth. After he done spent God knows how many years in prison. Now it's time for you to come and tell the truth. And all you say is that I'm sorry. That's the magic word. I'm sorry. Okay? That is the magic word. I am sorry. That's all you say. And that's what irked my nerve. When you hear women like this get up here.
I testified falsely against them by saying that they raped me when they didn't. And that was wrong. And I betrayed the trust of a lot of other people who believed in me. And made up a story that wasn't true because I wanted validation from people and not from God.
Shout out to the Blizzard King for that cut right there. Shout out to Dennis Sperling. Because she said, I was seeking validation from these young men, and I should have been seeking validation from God. Now, this woman is in jail now. She done found Jesus in jail. She done found Jesus in jail because she is in prison right now on an M charge. Okay? She done found God now. And I'm not judging her because she found God. I'm not. That's a wonderful thing that she found God. But 18 years, these young men have been walking around with their head hanging down because they were accused of this evil act. Do you know if they had children, how their children feel? That people ran around and accused them. Do you know how these men probably felt when they heard this confession? When they heard this confession, do you know how these men probably felt? They probably cried. They probably was praying to God to get their name cleared for God knows how long. And so now she talking about, I'm sorry for what I did to my brothers. And that's what I'm saying, that I don't think that's right. All they get to say is that they're sorry. That's all they get to say. That's all they get to say is, I'm sorry. And we have this stigma, we got to believe all women no matter what. No matter what, believe all women. And it's aggravating to me. We have to do better. My sisters, we got to raise these girls better. Got to talk to these girls. Don't go up to no man room late in the midnight hour. Don't go to nobody's house late in the midnight hour. Don't be on in no boys fraternity late in the midnight hour. Don't go upstairs. Okay? Don't go upstairs to no party. Don't be going upstairs. It's a party downstairs. Keep your ass downstairs. Don't go up to nobody's room. Oh no, I want to have a conversation with you. You tell this person we can have a conversation outside, or we can have a conversation in the backyard. I don't want to go upstairs with you. Because now once the boys done got the kitty cat, okay? And that's what he wanted. And you start asking questions. Well, are we boyfriend and girlfriend now? He tell you no, I think me and you could be friends. Now you go and report him to the authorities. Oh, he had touched me, he had R-word me, and it was consensual. And now this young man don't have a leg to stand on because more than likely his DNA is inside of you. So all you got to do is leave that party and go straight to the hospital and say, after he done told you what he didn't, after he done told you what you did not want to hear, you go to the hospital and say he R-worded you. And you know that it was consensual. And this is the painful thing that a lot of these young boys go through. Until now, the woman want to get some act right. After 18 years. Do you know how you destroyed this family after 18 years? Now you want to come and tell the truth. When you could have just avoided all this and never even brought this up in the first place. Or even when they started asking you more questions at the police station, you could have just confessed then. You waited 18 years? We have to start teaching our girls there's certain places you don't need to be. There was an old saying when I was young. Anything open after midnight is 7-Eleven and legs. Anything that is open after 12 midnight is 7-Eleven and legs. And we need to start talking to these girls and tell them, listen, you should not be in this area. Okay? After this time, you should not be here. Okay? You at a party, you better make sure you stay where everybody else at. You should not be carrying your happy ass upstairs. You should not be carrying your happy ass to the boy dorm room. You shouldn't be doing that. Don't you go visit no man late in the midnight hour if you not ready to do nothing. Don't you do that. Because some of y'all get in here and you will go up here and believe you're going to go play chess with a grown man late in the midnight hour. Some of y'all believe that. I never understood that thing with Tyson. I never understood that. I was like, how somebody come, okay, you get a taxi to somebody hotel, okay? You get a taxi to somebody hotel at 2 o'clock in the morning, okay? You get a taxi to a hotel at 2 o'clock in the morning. And it's 2 o'clock now. It's 2 o'clock now. Most people sleep booty butt naked. It's 2 o'clock now, okay? Okay? Most people sleep booty butt naked or they got some undies on. That's it, okay? So 2 o'clock in the morning, you have come to this man's room, his hotel room. And so I'm supposed to sit up with you, okay? I'm supposed to sit up with you and play Monopoly at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm supposed to sit up there with you and play chess. That does not make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. It's terrible. I'm sorry. And some of us who have sons, we know that this is reality because men are second-class citizens in the United States. I'm sorry. I know that's nasty. We're going to say the Western world. I know it's nasty, but it's true. Please stop writing profanity or all this other stuff into the chat because it's blocking you, okay? Please, if you don't like the content, just scroll up. Just leave. It doesn't make sense, okay? So this is the uncomfortable truth. A lot of our young men get sold down the river because of foolishness like this. Y'all have to teach y'all girls that, listen, okay? You have to teach your girls Oh, Derek, I thought you always had one of these. Let me see, because I thought you. Let me see. Okay, I got you. I got you. I thought you always was a mod for me. Okay, you can block them now, Derek. So, thank you, 18. I appreciate you, baby. So, this is the painful. This is so painful and it's crazy at the same time. You know, it's painful and crazy at the same time because everybody was believing Crystal. They believed her. They was like, no, this really happened and this and that. And they had no evidence. Okay? I know that's right, Derek. Derek said, take heed. I have a daughter and I'm not on that bull. I know that's right. Because we talk to our girls about the same thing. Talk to the boy about the same thing. Because you got to be mindful. People out here, they will do some nonsense. They will do some nonsense. Now, we about to jump onto something else. Y'all know Jay-Z going through some foolery in social media. Okay? And the woman who accused them that she was 13, she says she understands that her story has some inconsistencies in it, but she says she's sticking by her story. Okay? She's sticking by her story. Let me share something with you. I'm going to share something with you. I have to come out the gate and say I don't believe her. I have to come out the gate and say I don't believe her. Even her father said he don't remember taking no drive with her like that for 5 hours. Even the daddy had to come out and say, I do not recall no drive that I took with her for 5 hours. Your daddy said it. That mean you lying. That mean you lying. Your own daddy came out and was like, I don't remember nothing like that. I've never took a 5-hour drive and picked her up anywhere. Okay? He said, I don't know nothing about that. That's why I told y'all we got to be careful with jumping the gun with all this foolery. We got to be careful. Now listen to me. I'm not saying that Diddy or Jay-Z is not guilty for the things that they have done or whatever. But let's get them for the stuff they actually did. Let's not get up here and just put stuff on them and that they didn't do. You know what I'm saying? Like both of them got enough shit that they have done that is true. Okay, we don't have to add no nonsense to them, but then we gotta ask the shit that they done. Was it consensual? Okay, I hope I didn't say that word wrong. Was it, were these people willing participants? Okay? Because we get out here and we say they did all this evil stuff, but was these people willing and able to do this? Okay, did they want to do it? This is the question we need to ask. Because right now they ready to destroy Jay-Z family. Now, regardless if he got a problem with his wife going on, he still got children. He got children. Do you know what it feels like for a child to hear their father has done some evil? You know what I'm saying? It hurts children when they hear that their father has done some evil, especially if the father didn't do it and people lying on him. So if we gonna take somebody down, let it be that they really did it. You know what I'm saying? And we ready to crucify somebody, let it be that they really did this nonsense. Not because, oh no, I don't like them. Because a lot of these content creators, they don't like them. Okay? They don't like them. So yeah, I want to see him roast. He ain't helped me do this. He ain't helped me do that. I gave him my demo and he wasn't down with it and all this other foolery. Okay, I met him one time and he ain't even speak to me. You know what I'm saying? So this is why, y'all want to see people fall. Instead of us waiting for the truth. The truth might just be wilder than what we think. And these people probably come out and say, yeah, I did this, but I said, let's do it. Okay? Just like R. Kelly, you right there. Just like R. Kelly, okay? All the stuff they accused this man of, he only went to jail for racketeering. All the stuff they accused him of, he only went to jail for racketeering. This is the same thing that will happen with Diddy. Trafficking and racketeering. That's the only things that's holding him in that prison right now. That's the only thing that is holding him. All that other stuff we talking about in the streets and this and that, ain't none of that holding him. Ain't none of that holding him. All this gossip we talking about, he did this and he did that. Yes, they might have did all these things. They might have did all these things. But were these people they did this thing with, were they willing and able? Where they promised some things to do it and then they did it and then the promise was fulfilled. So you wash my hand and I wash yours. So this is where I have the problem at, because why were you in these people's face? You know that they did demonic practices. Why were you in their face? Is there another way that your music could have got out? Is there another way that you could have made it? Because some of the people that they helped to greatness ain't even stars no more. So I don't even understand that. Like, you did a one-hit wonder. Okay? Most of them are one-hit wonders. Okay? All these promises that they did with these people and all, most of them, you don't even know them anymore. Y'all signed the deal with devils, and then you look at you. Look at you. We don't even know who you are anymore. Here we go. Shout out to Hollywood Unlocked. Here we go. Here's the first one, y'all.
And talk today, because I think that I've been quiet long enough about what I've been through, and it's been hard enough to be quiet, but it's a chapter of my life that I'd like to close.
An NBC News review of her account found inconsistencies with her allegations. She says that she went to the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000 to catch a glimpse of her favorite celebrities.
You weren't scared to be all alone? No, with having autism is like feeling like you live your life in a shatterproof juggle ball. The world's on fire. The fire is in. What made you want to come forward?
So this woman who said, because she should be 39 years old. She should be 30, I believe. Yeah, she should be 30, maybe 30 something. Okay, so she has autism. Okay, she has autism. All right, so you telling me that Jay-Z, okay, laid hands on a young woman who was 13 that had autism? Are you seriously telling me that this young woman had autism and Jay-Z laid hands on a young woman who had autism at 13? Let's continue.
The fire is in. What made you is inside the ball with you, but there's no way for you to get out.
In addition to having autism, the woman says she suffered a head injury. The night of the 2000s VMAs, she says a friend drove her from Rochester, New York to Manhattan, a more than 5-hour drive. Her attorney provided NBC News with the name of the friend who has since died. The woman says she spoke to Combs's limo driver, who offered her a ride to an after party.
I stumbled upon Diddy's driver, who told me that I was exactly what Diddy was looking for.
What did you think when he said that to you?
I thought it meant that I was just pretty. And it's inside the ball with you, but there's no way for you to get out.
In addition to having autism.
Next one. So you're telling me that Oh my God. A 13-year-old girl that has autism, okay, that she found her way to the VMAs with a friend. A friend took her to the VMAs. What friend do you have that you're 13 and you have a friend that's older than you that can drive a 5-hour drive? Okay? Okay? That can do a 5-hour drive because from where they live at, that's a 5-hour drive. That's what the father said. That's a 5-hour drive from where they live at. That you know somebody that is your friend can drop you. You have autism. That they dropped you at the VMAs. Okay? By yourself. Okay? All right. And so now this woman who dropped you, your friend, okay, she has passed away. She has passed away. Only person that's still alive is your daddy. Thank God for him that he's alive. And he said, I don't remember nothing like that. A 5-hour drive, I picked her up, and the 5-hour drive home, I don't remember nothing like that. So that means this woman made this up in her head. That means this woman made this up in her head. That's right, Quincy. That's right. Why would this child be at the VMAs at 13 years old? And if she had autism, you know the parents would have had her locked in. You know, because when you have a child that is sickly, you always got to be right behind them. You always got to be. Shout out to the parents who are I'm not going to say that right. Shout out to the parents who are always behind their children because they came into this world and they came into this world. How can I say this? Because I don't want to say it offensively. But they came into this world and God made them special. Let's say it like that. God made them special. Okay? And the parents continue to be behind them and teach them how to live. Okay? And teach them how to live and survive. And so now you're going to tell me they let a 13-year-old that had autism walk around by herself. Her friend, if that's true, the friend ain't shit. Okay? The friend ain't shit. You drop her off at the VMAs on her own and you know she got autism. That mean you ain't shit. And I know the friend is dead, but that mean the friend ain't shit. That's why I told y'all we gotta be careful. We got to be careful, okay? We got to be careful with jumping on these bandwagons, okay? Now listen to me. I'm not saying that Diddy and Jay-Z have not done nonsense. I'm not saying that, okay? But let's get them on the nonsense that they have done. Let's not go and just make up shit. You know what I'm saying? It's enough shit that they have done. We don't have to make up shit, okay? That's the uncomfortable truth. The truth might be much worse. Y'all sitting up here, we worried about this woman talking about she was 13. The truth might be much worse. Okay? And I'm not saying that they did some evil stuff. I'm just saying. Okay? I'm just saying we shouldn't be up here listening to all this foolery and it may not be true. Most of these people who went to these Diddy parties, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Most of these people who went to Diddy parties, they went there for a reason. Most of these people who went to Diddy parties, congratulations, Quincy, I like that. He learned Russian at 4 years old. I know that's right. Most of these people who went to these Diddy parties, okay, they went there for a reason. They went there for a reason. Derek said to be seen. It was a network opportunity. You know what I'm saying? It was a growth opportunity. We can't get in here and be like, oh no, they just went to go get screwed. No, this was an opportunity. Cause baby, I'm gonna give you what you want, long as you can touch your toes. I'm gonna give you what you want, long as you can touch your toes. But these people agreed to this foolery. Because all day, all Diddy parties in the morning or in the afternoon was okay. It was until late in the midnight hour the party changed. It was until late in the midnight hour the party changed. Okay? Denzel Washington had said something that just rings in my ear every time I heard him say this. He said, you got to leave the party before the devil gets there. He said, you got to leave the party before the devil gets there. Now, he was in Hollywood. Okay? But he said, you got to leave the party before the devil gets there. What does that mean? That means there was some devils in Hollywood. So that means before the devil come, you see the devil pulling up the limousine. That means you got to go. That's what that means. Okay? And let me share something with you. Derek, I see what you wrote in there, and Usher is damn right. My kids wouldn't go to that party. That's right. Why are your kids going to a party like that in the first place? And Usher mama, quiet as kept. All these mamas, you know, you want your child to be famous, but you let your child go to a summer camp and you not there. What kind of nonsense? Okay? You want your child to get a record deal, but you put them in a summer camp. You don't get to see your baby. They in a summer camp and some stranger house trying to get a record deal. I be damned. You stupid. Ain't no way. Okay? Same thing like the R. Kelly, the young women, they want to get a record deal and they got to stay the night over some man's house that you only knew as R. Kelly. You don't know the family or anything. You know what I'm saying? You don't know anything about the family. All because this man gonna make you, your child famous. So you let your babies, stay the night at a grown man house. And you know your baby look like a Coca-Cola bottle shaped child. Okay? And you let your baby go stay. I be damned. Some of y'all have lost your mind. I be damned. Some of y'all put these babies in dangerous situations. Okay? Some of y'all put these babies in dangerous situations all because you want them to be famous. And then when they come tell you this happened, you don't say anything because you want the child to become famous. Now listen to me. This just didn't start with Diddy. This didn't just start Hollywood right now. This stuff has been going on for God knows how long. Even the chitlin circuit. I told y'all this in the live. Even the chitlin circuit was a problem. You think you was going to get famous in the chitlin circuit if you ain't touched those toes? Eat male or female. Okay? Okay? Let's talk about it. You want to lead the chitlin circuit and you want to get into the mainstream, baby, you got to learn how to touch those toes. Okay? All right, male or female? Let's talk about it because this is crazy. It's crazy. It didn't just start with Diddy. It didn't just start with how Hollywood been doing this since they began. It's nonsense. All these famous icons that we love, they all paid the toll. All these famous icons that we love. You think these icons, they just got big on their own? They had to do some work. They had to pay the toll to get where they are today. All these famous icons that we see today. Come on now. This is the uncomfortable truth. Now look at this. I'm going to share something else with y'all. Look at this foolery. They got Corey Holcomb in the news. Okay? All right? Corey is being accused of being allegedly, laying hands on somebody and threatening them. Okay? This is a co-star, a comedian. Okay? because she roasted him, okay, at some show. I don't even know her name. Christina Payne, I believe it is. Christina Payne, okay? She roasted him at some comedy jam or something, comedy show. And she claimed that, you know, he threatened her with a peace be still. Okay? Hey, Mimi, how are you, honey? It's good to see you. He threatened her with a peace be still, allegedly. And here we go. You know? Men are second-class citizens. Do you hear me? Men are second-class citizens. I'm not saying all men are innocent. I'm not saying that. There are some men who are evil, that have done nonsense. Okay? I'm not sitting up here saying all men are righteous. I'm not sitting up here saying that. But the righteous ones are the ones that's being accused of the evil. And they're the ones that's going to spend time in prison, all on a lie. And I think we need to start punishing these women when they come out and do all this lying. When they doing all this lying, we need to say something about it. Women need to speak up against this. Yesterday, I had did a video about Remy Ma, right? Now, that's not my first video I had did about Remy Ma. I had did, when that first thing, all that stuff had broke about her and Papoose, I had did a video way back, okay? And yesterday, I got like a lot of, you know, feedback, you know, and people was like, listen, you know, people was like, listen, he cheated on her way beforehand and this and that, you know, and, you know, she moving on with her life. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to share something with you. If he cheated on her and they were broken up already, right? Why would he have bugged her car? If he cheated on her and they were already separated, why would he bug her car? To find out if she was cheating. Put it in the chat. Do you believe that Remy is the type of woman that if Papoose cheated on her, that she would not sing like a canary? She does not look like the type of woman that would hide that. She doesn't. She doesn't look like the type of woman that would hide that. No, she doesn't look like she would hide that. She wouldn't care. She wouldn't care about nothing. She would go and tell that listen to me. Only why I'm talking like this is because I recognize women like this. I recognize women like this. Okay? She would not hide that Papoose wronged her. She would tell the heavens. You want to know why? Because when women get wrong, they get the biggest sympathy. When women get done wrong, they get the biggest sympathy. When a man get done wrong and he get thrown in the dirt, you know what people say to them? You know what people say to men that get hurt by women and they get all just disgraced? You know what they say to men? You should have chose better. You should have chose better. Oh, man, suck it up. You'll be all right. He done lost everything. The man done lost everything. He had lost his children and everything. You know what they tell him? Suck it up. Suck it up. You'll be all right. You a man. You a man. But when a woman get out here and she say, okay, let's talk about it. When a woman get out here and she say, Oh, he had cheated on me. Oh my goodness, I can't believe this and that, and all this. And she crying. She do the little tear and everything. She crying and all that stuff. People are going to just, they're going to flock to her, you know, because it's, you know, oh, we got to save Remy. They're going to all flock to her. Oh my goodness, that's right. He's a dog. He's this. He's evil. Oh, I hope they be cursing him and everything. Okay. Okay. Women who believe in witchcraft, they be trying to throw roots on them and everything. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about it. So she would have got bigger traction. Okay. She would have got bigger traction if she would have came out here and said he cheated on her. If she got out here and said he cheated on me, she would have got bigger traction. I ain't lying to you. Remember that woman who was the big girl that what's his name? Charlemagne called Big Back. Y'all remember her, right? She just did like what? 90 something degrees of whatever. Y'all remember she came to social media. This girl famous now. She famous now. She doing commercials and everything. She famous. Okay? She famous. Okay? Nobody questioned her on messing with somebody that she just met, you know. Nobody questioned her on marrying somebody she just met. Nobody questioned her on getting pregnant with somebody she just met. Nobody questioned her about that. Nobody questioned her about that, honey. All they know is that she came to social media and said this man did her wrong. She just met this man, and she gave, I guess, gave whatever she had to this man. She just met him. But nobody asked her any questions. Like, sis, why you do that? You know what I'm saying? Sis, why? Why? You know, you just met him. Why you screw him so fast? Why you let him move into the house with you so fast? You know what I'm saying? Nobody asked those questions. Ain't nobody say nothing. Because believe all women. You could get out here. A woman can sell a horrible heartbreak to the masses faster than a love story. Do you hear me? A woman can get out here and sell a heartbreak to the masses faster than she can sell a love story. If you get up here and you say this man did me right, check this out. If I get up here tomorrow and do a whole skit from 1 to 20 and say, oh, my husband is this, my husband is that, he did all this to me, he took this, he took that, he did this to me, he was laying hands on me, just a skit from 1 to 20. By the end of that day, I'll be in the 2 millions. I'll be 2 million followers. By the end of the day, once it hit, it's gonna hit. It's on site, Hollywood Live, all that. It's gonna hit TMZ, everything. Because 18 years being married to a man, and then you got all this lying, you know, you put in here. The whole thing gonna blow up. Okay? The whole thing gonna blow up. Because we don't ask questions. Believe all women, no matter what. We don't ask any questions at all. Women are not guilty. We could never be guilty. We could get up here and lie as much as we want. And then when we feel like, you know, when we feel like we stop lying. We don't want to lie no more. We come out and say, I found Jesus, and start crying. Oh, forgive me. I'm so sorry, this and that. Now we found Jesus. And the first thing you asking everybody is to forgive you. And what the man is supposed to do after he lost his life, 25, 30 years, he done lost his life. And all he get is a sorry. All he get is a sorry. I'm sorry. She's crying. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Just like the woman up here talking about she married a monster. Okay? She gonna make the rounds, baby. Nobody gonna put holes into her story. They gonna let her talk because she beautiful. Ain't nothing like a beautiful woman that lie. Ain't nothing like it, honey. Ain't nothing like it. A beautiful woman that lie, oh my goodness. Ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like it. A beautiful woman that lie. Mm-mm-mm. Lord, I'm telling you. Mm-mm-mm. No, I don't smoke, baby. I don't like that. I don't like smoking. I never liked it as a kid. See, when I was growing up, they would tell us that anything will lead you to crack. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who grew up in the 80s, growing up in the 80s, you were taught like, anything you did, it led to crack. You know what I'm saying? They had commercials that would tell you anything that you did, it led to crack. You know what I'm saying? Any little thing that you did, anything, you did anything, and they always tell you it lead to crack, you graduate. You know what I'm saying? So no, I don't. I never did. I never did. I never did. My husband did. When I first met him, my husband did. But when I used to kiss him, I was like, babe, it's ashtray, ashtray. And he used to tell me, oh, babe, I'm like, nah, it's nasty, please. Okay, so for a couple years he dealt with that, and then he finally stopped smoking. Thank God. Okay, because I love to kiss my husband, but thank God, he don't smoke no more. So yeah, y'all, a change has to come. The ones that this is done to, we need to speak out, and the ones that's up here lying, we need to speak out too. My sisters, we need to get together. We need to speak out. When we see foolery, we need to talk. We need to say something about it. We're not supposed to sit up here and agree with Remy and all these other women doing foolery. Yesterday, I ran across this nonsense on my social media page. I don't even know how I ran across this thing. I don't know how this got onto, my, I guess, my feed or whatever. But I ran across this young woman and I had fell out. But listen to what she got to say, y'all. Listen to this.
Crazy as hell. I'm down on Papoose side. Period. I'm actually not on nobody's side, but before I side with the man, I'm just not gonna pick sides. I'll never pick a nigga side. Ever. 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 I don't care what she did, how she did it. I don't care. I don't care. Y'all making all these think pieces. I'm on Papoose side. Remy need to this. Remy need to that. Remy need to this. I don't care what Remy did. I don't care what Remy did. Is she wrong? Maybe. But I feel like there's truth to both of their stories. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm never going to side with Papoose. Because I don't know what went on behind closed doors. So with that being said, Team Remy, because I'm going to always be down with the girls. Point blank, period. Y'all can take that how y'all want to take it. I don't care. But no, I'm not on Papoose side. I'm not on Papoose.
Now I'm gonna share something with you. This young girl, I share her video and I dubbed it. I dubbed it and shared it on my platform. And it's growing. It's crazy. Okay? It's growing. I dubbed her video and it's growing. It's about 16.1. Okay? Dub this video. Okay? And I linked her in it. Because anytime you dub somebody's stuff, you're supposed to link them in it. So I linked her in it. Okay? And you know what she says to me? She told me thank you with a smiley face, a heart emoji, and everything. Because on her platform, I checked the same video, it hasn't grown. But on mine, it had went wow, okay? Because I have a lot of people who follow me that are of substance. So they were going crazy over the video and stuff like that. And she contacted me through the messages, and she says, "Thank you so much," heart emoji, and she put the smiley face. And I text her back, and through the comments, I said, "You welcome." So one of my followers put in there and said, "Take heed. Are you serious? You welcome?" I said, "Sir." She said, "Thank you." And I said, "You welcome." That doesn't mean I agree with what she put out. Because at the end of the day, this situation is not the girls fighting the boys. This is not that. That's not it. The girls fighting the boys, that's not it. This situation is what is right and what is wrong. This situation is accountability. That's the situation. It's not anything else. This is accountability. Lisa said, "Be friends before you're anything else." It's crazy. It's so sad. Quincy said, "I'm having a windstorm here and I keep going in and out." Oh, sorry, Quincy. Sorry, my dear. Rushing into relationships is a problem. It is. It is. It is. But this was a marriage. This was a marriage. I'm sorry, y'all. This was a marriage. And I'm going to share something with you. No matter how ghetto we looked at their life was, some of us was like, Papoose is the man. Like, how he, wait like that and then take care of her son and be faithful. Everybody was like, how is that? Now, people like, nah, Papoose was not faithful, this and that. Let me share something with y'all. And this is what I believe, okay? Y'all young ones can't hold water. If somebody was screwing Papoose, you would have heard it in these streets. You would have heard it in these streets. If somebody was screwing Papoose, you would have heard it in these streets. If you like the content, please like and subscribe to the page. Also, donate to the page as well. I greatly appreciate it. Okay? That's the uncomfortable truth. If Papoose was cheating, everybody would have known about it. It would not have been a scandal. The young woman he was messing with would have came and said, "That's right, I was screwing your man, this and that," or whatever. What Remy gonna do? She wanna go back to jail? That doesn't even make sense. That's right, he did. So now we supposed to get up and get mad with him. Oh no, he cheated on her. Allegedly, he cheated on her. Only why you hear all this now is because Remy trying to justify the nonsense she has done. And I believe we need to start calling women on this foolery. Not just Remy Ma, but women in your family. When they do nonsense like this, you need to say something like, listen. You my cousin, but you screwing around with your husband. Don't come to my house. You know what I'm saying? You my best friend. You was screwing around with your husband. What's my best friend tell me she's screwing around on her husband? We no longer friends. Peace. We no longer friends. You want to do what? You getting up there lying, talking about you was at my house. You did what? Peace. You know what I'm saying? I'm done. We need to start holding our sisters accountable. I don't care what color they are. If you cheating on your husband, I can't be friends with you no more. Okay? I can't be friends with you no more. I don't want to be bothered with you no more. Hi, Robert. How are you? Long time no see. Okay? I don't want to be bothered with you no more. Robert said Remy Ma don't want to pay child support and that alimony. That's why she don't want to sign that divorce paper. Because Papoose got proof that she was cheating when they said he bugged the car. Okay? When he bugged the car. And then this guy gonna come out talking about that's weird. What do you mean that that's weird? He bugged the car. He felt she was cheating. So yeah, I will bug the car too. Cause how is it that I gave my life, I put my life on hold? Boom. Okay? Cause you wanted to go out there and play cops and robbers. You wanted to go out there and play thug. Okay? Over some money. When you could have just sued this woman for the money. You could have sued this woman for the money. And if it was some street money, some dirty money, you would have just had to let that go. You want to play some thuggish nonsense over some cash and go do prison time. That's stupid. And I love Remy Ma too. Now I can't stand you. Now I can't stand you. I don't even like your music no more. Because we need to start calling our sisters on this foolery. When you do stuff like this, we need to say, oh, hell no. Nah. Ain't no who taking sides. What? No. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. This is not taking sides. This is not taking sides. What the hell you doing was wrong. "18 said yes. After I give her a good cursing out, she ain't gonna want to be my friend." I know that's right. After I curse that ass out, you ain't gonna want to be my friend no more. How you even make your face to tell me you screwing another man and it ain't your husband, and you want me to still be friends with you? Oh, tell John I was at your house. Nah, bitch, no. John, when John called me, I'ma tell John she was not here. She was not here. I don't know where she was. Okay? No, you won't have me in on nothing. I don't know. Okay? I don't know where she was. She didn't tell me. You won't have me up here lying for you. And that's the thing. We need to stop condoning this nonsense that, our sisters are doing. I don't care what color you are when I say that, my sisters. We need to stop condoning it. You cheating on your husband and so we still friends. You still my girl, I'm lying for you. This and that. No. This is the problem I got. This is why I don't like women like this. Because you cheat on your husband. You cheating on your husband. And so now that you cheating on your husband, then my husband find out. Okay? So now my husband gonna be looking at me asking questions. Okay? Like, oh, but you be with her. So you didn't know? You be with her. You be with her, so you didn't know. And that's when you have to cut ties with women like this. These women who they don't mind cheating on their husband, then they come tell you, oh, he had me like this. I was swinging from the side. I was doing all this. She come and tell you, her nonsense. And so you supposed to be like, yeah, girl, no. No, bitch, I'm not your friend. No, bitch, we not friends no more. Okay? Don't come to my house. Don't call me, lose my number, I'm going to block you. I'm going to block you after this conversation. Okay? I'm going to block you. That's right, it's nasty. I'm going to block you. Derek said, I stopped being friends with a guy because he cheated on his wife and I got I got drugged into the chaos. Listen, I know that's right. I don't have time. I don't have time. Forget that nonsense. All this cheating and everything, and we supposed to still be friends. You gotta be careful with people like this. You got to. You's a cheater and I'm supposed to still be friends with you. You cheating. You cheating on your husband, I'm still supposed to be friends with you. Forget that nonsense. And so when I put my video out, okay, A lot of people was mad with me. Oh, take heed. That's not, you should be minding your business and this and that. First of all, they put it on social media. When you put your business on social media, everybody got the right to critique it. If you get out here and say you cheated with your husband, everybody got the right to call you a hoe. Okay? If you get out here and cheat on your wife and you put it on social media, everybody got the right to call you a dog. It is what it is. It is what it is. Okay? That's right. If you're married, you stick to your vows. That's it. That's it. It's crazy. I'm telling you. 18 said your husband will start looking at you sideways. I don't have time. Guys, listen. At the end of the day, people going to do what they want to do. And as a content creator, you're going to speak about it. But at the end of the day, people going to do what they want to do. Because all this foolery, I told y'all about the smoke and mirrors, right? Smoke and mirrors that we up here arguing about. But our president just pardoned like God knows how many people in one day. Okay? 1,500 in one day. Okay? In one day, he pardoned that many people. In one day. Some of these people are accused of doing stuff with children. He pardoned them. Okay? Some of these people he pardoned have touched children. Some of these people he pardoned, well, one of them, one particularly, a judge who had an inside, scheme going on with a private prison. That anytime he got juveniles in front of him, no matter what the charge was, he will put them under. And these were young teenagers. And he sent them to that particular prison because he was getting money under the table. Biden pardoned him. Okay? All y'all got to do is go to, let me see, because I know I shared it. I shared it in our group chat yesterday when I saw it. I said, oh my damn. That didn't even make any sense what he did. Okay? You can see the list of the people that he freed. Okay? Let me see. Clemency receipts list, the White House. So all you got to do is go to the White House, I guess, .org or something like that. Let me just see. Let me open it up first. Okay, whitehouse.gov. Okay? Whitehouse.gov. And it's going to give you the whole list of everybody he gave clemency to. Okay? And he had out of the count that he got, right? Out of the listen, y'all. The clemency, 1,499 people, okay? 39 pardons in one day. In one day. 1,499 99, let me see. Hold on. I'm saying it wrong. Granted clemency. Okay. So he granted 39 clemencies, okay? And 1,499 pardons. Okay? That's nasty in one day. In one day. So they already had the list of people that they were going to get out of there. They already had the list. Because you want to know why? They trying to cover up that nonsense he did with his son. They trying to make people not remember that nonsense he did with his son. Okay? That's what they trying to do. Okay? That's why I always tell y'all the smoke and mirrors. Okay? The smoke and mirrors we paying attention to. But the real nonsense behind the curtain is much worse. Why did you pardon all those people? And some of them have done wrong to children. And you pardon some of them. That does not make sense. That's why, listen, I know I do a lot of bullshit on my social media page. But baby, when you have peace be still, you learn a lot. Peace be still, you learn a lot. It's crazy. And 18 said, I keep telling you guys, prison is big business. Of course. Especially when it's private owned, of course. Because they having grants from the government, of course. Yes, it is. You ain't lying. This is why the public school look just like the prison. Public school look just like the prison. It's only when you go to take them kids to private school, okay, or they go to some academy, okay, that you never think that school looked like something else. It looked beautiful. Cause I know our two oldest ones so far went to academy and it was amazing. Okay, trying to get that boy in there now. Okay, testing going on right now for the next following year. Trying to get that boy in there right now. Okay, can you imagine? It's crazy. And because he don't want to look like, oh, he just pardoned his son, that's why he did all these pardons in one day. In one day. Never heard that. They said this is the record for the most pardons in one day. The most pardons in one day. It's crazy. Y'all. I'm done. I'm done. Everybody have a wonderful day. Much love to you all. Thank you for the 15-month membership today. I appreciate you. Guys, if you like the content, please like and subscribe to the page. Also, donate to the page if you can. I know it's the holidays. Okay? I know it's the holidays. If you want to donate to the channel, you can donate through Cash App, through Super Chat, through Venmo as well. The links are in my bio. If you want to shop with us, our family business is called ubmracksfashion.com. Okay? ubmracksfashion.com. All right? We have Macari, Pushmart, and eBay. The links are there as well. If you want to shop merch with us, scroll to the top of the page and you will see shop or store. You can go in there, you could buy hoodies, shirts, mugs, water bottles, and everything like that if you're interested. Okay? Thank you so much for everybody who came. Let's get this voting out, okay? So we got 144 people voted. Okay? Should women be chanting believe all women anymore? So 10% say yes. They should still be chanting that. 90% said no, and we're going to end the poll. Now, to all my regular, my mods, this is a question to all y'all, my regulars. Do you think we should do something different on the platform? Do you think I should do something different on the platform? Or should we continue down the road that we're going about current events and all this nonsense that we see going on in social media? Only why I'm asking this question is because somebody said to me that my stuff is like getting a little boring. So my minds, this is the question that I gotta ask y'all. So should we change to something else? Because I thought that I don't just stay in one pocket. This is one thing that I learned when I started in the beginning. Because I was just on, the male and female, all this, this gender war. And then, I came out a little bit because I started talking about Trump. Okay? Okay. And then I went back and now I'm talking about current events and stuff like that. So my algorithm, right? My algorithm is telling me to stay. Like my numbers are like high in this part. So I wanted to know, should I do anything else? Keep on what you're doing. Everyone is yes, I understand. Okay. Don't okay, Quincy said don't change up, be yourself. 18 said be safe everyone. See you guys, okay? Mhm. Lisa said, keep going. Okay, I just wanted to know you moving, how you move, stay with it. People want to see you. People want to see you succeed. Now I'm gonna share something with y'all. I got two famous people that started following me on IG. I have fell out. Now I never tell y'all who followed me. I don't do that. I'm not one of those content creators that run to social media and be like, this person is following me. Because I had one famous person following me, no, two. Two, when I first started IG. I had made them laugh about this video that I had put out. Okay. So they started following me and I started following them back, but I never told who they were until one of them came to my chat and I was like, oh my God, I was on a live on IG. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And she was like, baby girl, do your thing. I see you. I see you. Now this morning, I have one NBA star who came and started following me. And a woman that is a famous actress, okay? And she's married to a famous actor. Okay. And I'm not gonna tell y'all who it is, but I was excited. I was like, oh wow. And I was saying, is my stuff going somewhere crazy? You know what I'm saying? Like maybe it's not leading the right way because someone said to me that the platform needs to change. And so I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you who it is. I'm not. I never tell. I never tell until they reveal themselves in my chat and stuff like that. I never tell. So I was happy. I was like, oh wow, this is crazy, And all I'm doing is talking shit. So that's why I asked y'all, should I change? Because I didn't stay in one pocket. I didn't just talk about, men and women issues. I talk about other stuff and who's right and who's wrong and politically, because that whole thing with Trump that had went through a whirlwind, you know. And shout out to Trump for winning the presidency. I don't hate Trump. Some of y'all probably believe I do, but I don't. I don't hate him. I don't hate him at all. And I believe um, the Democrats, and I was born to them. I was born to them. I believe we got railroaded. I really believe we did. They pulled the coup on us. That's what made me not want to be a Dem no more. I said, let me just be an independent and make more sense. Anyway, y'all, have a good one. Y'all take heed to the message, baby. Okay? Take heed to the message, honey. We gonna do what it do, honey. I'm done. It's crazy. It's crazy.